Let's talk about elite quarterback Julian Lewis. He's been making the news recently in a couple different ways. One, the first way, you guys put in flip picks for Julian Lewis to flip his commitment from USC to Colorado. We're going to talk about that in a second. But then he kind of threw a curveball at us all with the announcement or with the news that Julian Lewis will visit Georgia this weekend. And we know Georgia is in the market for a second quarterback in this class. They have Ryan Montgomery committed, but they want two. So I'll start with you, Chad. Let's start with the Georgia talk around Julian Lewis, then we'll talk Colorado. But start with how much of a priority do you think Julian Lewis is right now for Georgia?
Look, Georgia wants to add a second quarterback. There's no doubt about that. Add depth to their room. They're happy with Ryan Montgomery. Unfortunately, towards ACL this season, will be out for the spring, can't compete, can't go through the drills and so on. But they want to add a second piece in Juju. Julian Lewis could be potentially that guy. They've had communication there at one time, very early in the process. They were kind of viewed as a team to beat. He's been there 10-plus times. He knows Coach Bobo extremely well, Gummy extremely well. The relationships are in place. He likes the Georgia offensive scheme. He'll be back in town this weekend. I mean, Look, this all kind of came somewhat kind of out of nowhere, I would say, like in recent days. But there's been communication going on behind the scenes between him and Georgia all along, as there have been with other schools as well. So, look, he'll visit this weekend. We'll see what happens coming out of this trip. I think he'll ask some questions to Kirby, to Bobo, watch the team play, talk to some commits, and see how he feels. Yeah.
Talking to Rusty Mansell, you guys can go watch that video on this channel. But Rusty kind of said the same thing. He thinks that this is going to be a real sit-down with Kirby and the coaching staff with Juju to kind of feel what does he want to do? How serious are we taking this? And then we'll move forward from there. So we'll have to see what he's saying coming out of that Georgia visit. But, Steve, I want to go behind the scenes of this Colorado prediction that you guys dropped this week for Juju to take over. Yeah, I mean, right there, handing the keys from Shedeur to Juju. So you guys are predicting that. Take us behind the scenes of that pick.
Well, Colorado was always a legitimate player for Julian Lewis as he took 3 visits prior to the season to Boulder, got a chance to watch them go through a spring practice, continue to build that relationship with Coach Sanders, Coach Shermer, and the rest of that staff. But I think seeing them on the field this fall, now competing for a college football playoff spot, that validates everything that the coaching staff was saying to Julian before the season about their ambitions. And it's a place that now he can see himself being successful on the field because, look, they were 4-8 the year before. Yeah. So now you're competing for a college football playoff. The relationships were always great with Colorado. The vibe, being on campus, being around that coaching staff, he always loved. The offense he always loved. But how is it going to come together on the field? And now here they are in contention to win the Big 12. So I think more than anything, that has thrusted Colorado into pole position at this point in the process for Julian Lewis. The important factors in his recruitment, in my opinion, where can he play the earliest? Colorado, I think if he picks the Buffaloes, they'll just ride with him and go through any kind of potential growing pains he would have in college as a true freshman starter. And he's probably one of the more ready-made high school quarterbacks to step into a college football program and play. The stage has never been too big for Julian Lewis. Chad and I have had him on our radar since he was in the 7th grade. Wow. Got his first offer from Dan Mullen in Florida in 8th grade. Steps into the high school scene in the Peach State, the biggest stage, the biggest classification, goes all the way to the state title game and plays magnificent in the state title game. They came up short, but the stage has never been too big for him. Carrollton's the favorite to win the state championship this year in the Peach State. He's the reigning Gatorade Player of the Year in that state. He is a National Gatorade Player of the Year finalist last year. He's got a chance to put his name alongside some great quarterbacks that have come out of there. Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson come to mind right away. So play right away. NIL, certainly Shedeur Sanders is one of the more well-compensated college athletes in the land, and to play on that stage at Colorado with that following that they have there, Julian Lewis, who's already maybe the highest paid high school athlete currently with his Under Armour deal and some of those other things he's got going on, he could step right in at Colorado and continue to just
keep it rolling.
Yep, no question. He's already got that country club lifestyle ahead of him from a financial standpoint. So the NIL, the opportunity to play right away, and then now be part of a winning football program at Colorado with guys being, good players around him. That's, in my opinion, what has put Colorado out in front. But you said curveball for the Georgia visit. Chad and I, we're always looking for a breaking ball when we're in the box talking about Julian Lewis. We know anything can happen at any time. I was not surprised to see that he popped up on the Georgia visit list this weekend. And we'll see how this process continues to go. But I like where Colorado stands. I think USC has already started the process of moving on their end.
Yeah.
And,
seems like the writing's on the wall there. And one of the things I love about Julian Lewis is just his ability, the fact that he's produced at every level. Like you guys said, he was producing in 7th grade, 8th grade. Now he's doing it in high school, and that's going to only continue in the college level. Now, these USC to Colorado flips, this might not be the only one, because offensive tackle Carde Smith is also trending from USC to Colorado. Chad, you want to talk a little bit about the 6'6", 290-pound offensive tackle from the state of Alabama? He's no stranger to flips. He's already committed to Auburn once, flipped to USC. Now it looks like another one could be imminent.
Yes, he'll be definitely going down that path, Josh, for sure. I mean, I think Steve mentioned the other day, pairing him with a guy like Jordan Seaton and building around those guys as anchors on your offensive line. Like you said, a massive kid from southern Alabama, loves to play football. And like Deion said the other day, I think this week, said, if we sign you as a freshman, we sign you to play right away. He would be a guy to slide in, compete for playing time. And he's looking for that opportunity to play. He saw that at Auburn, saw that at USC. He likes the staff, where the program is going under Deion Sanders, and sees that chance to play for a very good program and play early right away for a guy that played in the NFL.
Yeah. All right. Colorado fans, talk to us. Let us know. How are you feeling about these two major flip targets, and Julian Lewis and Carde Smith? Could it be a 2-for-2 from USC? Let us know. Comment section below.